Hello guys, in this video I want to give you a brief overview of my Dooars tour. As some of you who have been following my YouTube channel know that I've been posting a lot of videos about the beautiful places I've been visiting in Dooars, as well as some videos about some topics in physics and stuff, which I have kind of which I have recorded in Dooars, in some places in Dooars. So basically, guys, right now I'm in the Vistadome train. It's a special train, a tourist train. Let me just show you something. I hope you can see the beautiful this is some, and you can see the dense forests and all this beautiful greenery. So basically Dooars is a place in West Bengal itself. It's in North Bengal, and it's a place filled with what I loved about this place, kind of just a 5 to 6 day tour. And what I loved about this place is that it was let me just show you this view, and let me just peek. So it was it's mainly you can get a lot of jungle forests. You can do a lot of forest safaris, and if you're lucky you can spot a lot of for instance, we were lucky enough to spot a one-horned rhinoceros, which is a pretty rare creature in the Jalpaiguri National Park. It's the first place we visited was there. And then there are a lot of safaris actually. There are a lot of this entire area. It's filled with this national parks and game reserves. I mean national parks and reserves and wildlife sanctuaries and all this stuff, where you can see the animals in the natural habitat. And one thing which I would say is that in safari it's a matter of luck. If you're not lucky enough, you will not get to see anything. You will not be able to spot any creature even after doing safaris in 5 to 6 forests. It's also possible. It's pretty rare because you see these animals, they like peace and quiet. And these safaris, these safari cars, these jeeps or Maruti Jeepsi, whatever, these cars or jeeps, they go through the same route over and over again daily, several times, and they take the tourists with them. So the creatures know that, and they kind of try to avoid the route. So one thing which I loved was that in Gorumara it was not a car safari. It was a safari in a cart which was pulled by bulls. And we then a very short distance away there was a watchtower. It's called Medla Watchtower, and I will be sharing all the names of the places in the video description. If some of you want to visit, I think that will be helpful to you. So basically in Medla Watchtower, it's a watchtower and you have to climb, and then from there you can observe the creatures. It's not like you are on a car. And there we watched one-horned rhinoceros, 2 one-horned rhinos, and a baby rhino as well. And then peacocks and elephants we also observed. And then we also observed a deer, but unfortunately I was not able to capture the deer on my camera because it was pretty quick, obviously. Then we came. Then there is a place called Boxa Tiger Reserve. It's a bit far from that Gorumara National Park. In Boxa Tiger Reserve, I mean, of course, although the name is Tiger Reserve, you cannot expect to view tigers here. I mean, tigers are pretty rare. I mean, but yeah, it's also a very good place. The specialty of Boxa Forest is that it's very dense, and dense in the sense, for instance, you can see these forests. You can see this forest. It's actually pretty dense forest. I think you can see. In Gorumara also you can the forest that was very far from us, but when we were in the safari or from the watchtower, there was some it was not, I can say very confidently that it was less dense than Boxa. Boxa forest was really dense. At least the area where we were staying, it's called Santala Bari. And then in Boxa there are 2 safaris. One is the Jayanti Safari and Jayanti Forest Safari, and one is the Boxa Tiger Reserve Safari. And we did the Boxa Tiger Reserve Safari, and yeah, we were not lucky enough to view any major creature, but still the ride through the jungle, it was itself a very rewarding and very refreshing experience, because it's a very dense forest. And yeah, I posted these videos actually. I posted in my videos all of this. Just look at the view once. Okay, so, and I think and then after that, in just a second, where was I? Yeah. So, and then in Boxa, and then we also did a forest safari. It's called Chilapata Forest Safari. Chilapata, then Jaldapara, all these forests they fall. They are en route from Gorumara to Boxa. From Lataguri is basically a place in the Gorumara, near Gorumara only, where our first resort was in Lataguri. That's where we first went, and then but on the way from Lataguri to Boxa, you get all these places, Jaldapara and Chilapata. And yeah, in Chilapata Safari also we were able to view an elephant, and yeah, it was a wild elephant, not the ones which the local, there are some elephants which are kind of pet. I mean, they stay with humans, and humans use the elephants to do their duty to patrol the jungle area. But I'm not talking about those. I actually saw a wild elephant, 2 or 3 wild elephants in the Chilapata Safari, but of course, I mean, they were so far away that I mean, even my eyes could hardly spot them. So there was no point of shooting a video of that. But yeah, you could clearly understand, and it's a pretty high. And then the resort which we were staying in Lataguri, it was actually a pretty. The location was. I mean, we heard that. Just enjoy this view for a second, guys, and listen to what I'm saying. So it's heard that a lot of elephants and stuff, they come near the resort. A couple of years back, according to what the hotel manager told us, an elephant, in fact, broke the gate and entered our resort in Lataguri. And during our stay also, a wild elephant came very near. I mean, it was sighted from the resort boundaries, from within the resort boundaries. But it was during the evening dark, so it was not, I mean. Plus, I went there a bit late. I mean, I was in my room and my father called me, and I went there a bit late, so I couldn't capture it in my camera. But some people did, I guess. But yeah, whatever. So the point is that it's a pretty beautiful place, and you are right at the heart of the jungle, in the lap of the nature, and you get to see all the creatures. If you get to see the creatures, if you're lucky, then you get to see them in their natural habitat, not like they're kept in zoo or anything. And that's what I love about Dooars. So now let me talk about, so other than these jungle safaris, and yeah, the road itself is beautiful. I'll be posting some YouTube shorts. If you guys can see when you're moving from one place to another, the road itself is beautiful. You can see a lot of tea gardens, and then you can see a lot of forests, and it's a beautiful road. It's traffic is comparatively less, I mean, obviously, and it's very dense jungle both sides of the road, and there are signboards which are saying elephant crossing zone and stuff. So it actually happens, especially during the night, during the dark. It's actually dangerous to move in these roads on 2-wheelers, even in cars. If you encounter a wild elephant, then even if you're in a car, you're not safe. So this is all about the jungle safaris and stuff. Now I would like to tell you about some other places to visit which I visited. There are a lot of places to visit, but yeah, the thing I love about Dooars is that I have been to a lot of hill stations like Darjeeling, and then there are a lot of places like sea, where the sea is the main thing, like Puri and all, Digha and all. I'm talking about nearby places, right? I even visited Andaman, but that is a different level. I don't want to compare Andaman with Dooars. But yeah, the thing I love with Dooars is that it's pretty near, and here you can get the feel of a hill station. I mean, because I visited something called the Jaldhaka. It's called Jaldhaka Hydel project. The place is actually called Chalong, and from there you can go to a place called Bindu, and Bindu is actually a kind of pretty high. Just a second. I'm just entering a station, and you can a goods train here. Anyway, this is nothing worth seeing, so let me continue. So so Bindu is actually just near the Bhutan border. This entire area, it's very close to Bhutan, and I visited Bindu after sunset, just at sunset. So I was there during the dark. I mean, when the evening is, it's already evening, and it's a very beautiful place because there were it was really dark, and the Bindu river was flowing by, and there were very rocks and stuff, and I could see the Bhutan border and all, just on the other side the mountains of Bhutan, and it's very dense forest and mountain and stuff. So it was a really beautiful experience in Bindu. And near Bindu there is something called Jaldhaka, and it's also a pretty kind of hydel project. It's really you can feel the force of the water, and it's like a river flowing by. And Jaldhaka, you can view it from very high, and the water is flowing by, the river is flowing by. So as I was saying, guys, then from Bindu, then very near to Bindu is it's a bit less height than Bindu. There is this Jalpaiguri hydel project. It's actually a government hydel project. And then in Jalpaiguri actually it's in Jhalong, and it's a very beautiful, from very high you can see the river flowing down, and the sound of the river, and it's actually the water in near Jalpaiguri, it's very high current water, and yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so that's the, you can watch all of my videos on my channel, then you can get an idea of the place. Of course I cannot say it and describe it in words, but yeah, it's beautiful. But yeah, there are a lot of such places. Then in the next day we visited this there's a tea garden, Samsing Suntalakola. Then there is a place called Rocky Island, which is kind of similar to this Jalpaiguri and Bindu. It's just a bridge, and a river is flowing, and these rivers are all this they're the water is very fresh, very clear water. It's not like dirty water, and it's very rocky. A lot of rocks are there in the river, and it looks very good. Even if you want to click pictures and shoot videos and just sit there and enjoy nature, it's a very beautiful place. So there are a lot of these kind of places here, apart from the jungles and jungle safaris. Then there is something called Murti River. There also similar kind of stuff. You can see all of my videos of these places on my YouTube channel. So these are the places to visit, and we came here via the Vande Bharat Express. And yeah, a lot of you are interested about the Vande Bharat train. I myself was interested before so what is my review of the Vande Bharat Express is that it's pretty, it's my first time in the Vande Bharat, and of course I didn't have very high expectations, but still I was kind of disappointed because first of all, the train dropped us at New Jalpaiguri station NJP on time, so I have no complaints there. The food was pretty good. I have no complaints with the food also, and timing, everything is fine, but it's nothing special. It's nothing like, it's pretty high. The average speed was around 75 or 80 kilometers, the average speed for the distance, and the highest speed was probably 110 or 115 kilometers per hour. So it's nothing. It's even a Rajdhani Express or a normal superfast express can attain those such velocities. Of course, it's I'm not blaming Vande Bharat because there are a lot of factors, signals, and then the railway tracks, then the route, of course. But yeah, all I want to say is that I felt it was a bit overpriced. It's nothing special. What you're getting for that price, it's nothing special. You are not reaching there pretty fast. It's not like an airplane which will take you in 2 hours. It's nothing special. That is what I want to say. But it's not bad. The view is fine and everything. The seats are okay, pretty comfortable, and the food they serve is actually pretty good considering railway food. So yeah, that is my review of the Vande Bharat. And then one more place which I visited here is and it's one of the best in my opinion, apart from the jungles. And if you visit Dooars, I think you should not miss this place. It's a beautiful view. I think you can see. The Boxa Fort. So when I visited this place called Boxa Hill, Boxa Forest and all, Boxa Fort is actually there are a lot of places to visit, like Jayanti riverbed, and then there was a pretty beautiful river. It was just behind the homestay, not just behind, you have to actually walk 15 minutes, around 15 to 20 minutes, and the route, no car goes there. It's a pretty narrow route through the jungle, so you have to walk, and it's a pretty, the walk is not at all, you must have a lot of endurance because it's totally rocky and it's pretty steep climb, and then It's a very difficult journey. But this thing which I'm talking about, it was just near our homestay where we were staying in Boxa, and it's not a tourist spot, so there were not a lot of huge number of tourists or anything. So it was a pretty good experience. And since it was not a tourist spot, it was just totally empty. It was just us and me and my parents and our local guide. And you see, there were jungles on both sides, and the river is flowing, and we saw the sunset and all. It's a pretty beautiful experience actually. Yeah, just once. So and then there is something called the Boxa Fort. Boxa Fort is also from our homestay. We have to go to a place called Boxa Zero Point and or Boxa Viewpoint, whatever. And from there you actually get a pretty good view of the mountains. From Boxa Viewpoint, it's around if you go around 14 kilometers through the dangerous mountain roads, then you will reach Bhutan. That's what they say. And I mean, yeah, it's pretty near to Bhutan border, because sometimes the sound that you can hear is the mighty WDG4. It's the locomotive, the diesel locomotive that is hauling this Vistadome train. Right now I'm returning from my Dooars trip back to Kolkata, back to my place, and this is actually the Vistadome train. It's okay, I'll talk about the train, but before that let me just finish talking about Boxa Fort. So yeah, it's pretty, like I was saying, it's pretty near to Bhutan border, because it's like sometimes when we were not getting tower in our mobiles, the mobile clocks were just automatically, for instance, some mobile it is showing the Indian time, in some mobile it's showing the Bhutan time, which is 30 minutes ahead of Indian time. So yeah, these things were happening. We were pretty close to Bhutan border actually. So the Boxa Fort is actually kind of a mountain trek, and this is a pretty, I mean, I won't say it's a very difficult trek actually, but yeah, it's not that easy also. You need to go around 2 kilometers around from the viewpoint, 2 kilometers to reach Boxa Fort, and then again 2 kilometers you have to return from the Boxa Fort. And yeah, that's just a mountain trek, no car or nothing. You have to walk the distance if you go. And they will provide you with some stick, because it's a pretty steep steep road with a lot of rocks and loose rocks and stuff. So it's good to have a stick with you. Otherwise it might get a bit dangerous. And but I would say it's a very difficult climb, a very difficult trek. But yeah, it was still, the view you get is pretty. I mean, actually, at least I liked it a lot, the view. And what is Boxa Fort? Basically, in Boxa Fort you get it's a kind of a fort where a long time back all these prisoners were kept. Now it's, the place is broken and dilapidated. But that is the attraction. That is a tourist attraction. That is, you get to view the fort and stuff. And more than the fort, what I loved was that, because the day I visited Boxa Fort, it was kind of cloudy, and I got all this fog was there, and I could see the mountains on the Bhutan side and on our side also. And these mountains are not like just green mountains, covered with trees and all dense forest. And so it was a really very, very beautiful experience actually. The fog was there, and the mountain, and it was pretty high. It was almost nearly 2,600 feet or something. I don't know exactly, but it's not. And yeah, like I said, it's not as high as Sikkim, Gangtok. Not that much cold also, but like I said, you will at least get the feel of mountain as well as forest, as well as everything in Dooars. That's why I love Dooars. I love this place. And if you're lucky, you'll also get to see a lot of animals, and you definitely can enjoy the jungle. Even if you cannot sight rhinos or elephants or bisons, you can definitely enjoy the jungle. That you can do, right? That is guaranteed, kind of. And yeah, a lot of times we have this expectation, like I will sight this, that. So but if we can just lower our expectations and just enjoy the jungle as it is, and that itself is a thing to enjoy, and that's really beautiful. Next thing is that yeah, so that was a rough overview of my Dooars trip. I don't want to make the video any longer. And one more thing, what I would like to say is that this returning train, this Vistadome, it's kind of, as I was saying, this you can see, and luckily the train is totally empty today actually, this compartment. So the Vistadome EV, it's a tourist train, because you can see it has kind of large windows than normal trains. As you can see here, it's a large window, and all these seats, you see there are some rotating seats as well. like these seats. You can actually rotate these seats so that you can sit here and you can enjoy the view outside. For instance, just suppose I sit here and then I can enjoy the view outside. You can recline the seats obviously, and uh, uh, one and the specialty of the Vistadome is that it's kind of apart from this rotating chair, there is a observation deck also, which I'll show you, and the ceiling is also kind of this kind of glass ceiling. It's not really the sky is not clearly visible actually, but it's still it's a good experience overall, because luckily the coach is totally empty today. Yeah, so and the Vistadome is actually, it's just a single coach which is specially built for tourists, and it's attached to a train which runs from Alipurduar to New Jalpaiguri. I mean this route I'm talking about, and to and fro. And yeah, this particular coach, the Vistadome coach, is specially built for tourists, which is clear, which is obvious from the large windows and this observation deck and the rotating chair, these revolving chairs and all this, you know, this glass ceiling. And yeah, it's a kind of 5-hour journey almost, and it's pretty good experience. Now let me quickly show you the observation deck. You can see this is the observation deck, and from here you can get a very good view. And unfortunately, for some reason, our coach is our coach is kind of, it's just behind the locomotive, which you can see it's the WEG4. It's a diesel locomotive. You can see it honking, and it's a locomotive of Siliguri, and you can see. So otherwise, the Vistadome coach is usually present at the very end of the train, very rear of the train, and from there you can get a very good view of from. You see, this is the observation deck. Let me show you from far. You can get a pretty good view. This entire glass window. From there you can get a pretty good view as the train is moving away. You can get a pretty good view of the. I think you can see. You see this entire area is the observation deck of the Vistadome, and since it's just behind the locomotive for us, unfortunately you cannot get the view from this glass, but still it's a pretty good view from the side you can see, and on that side also you can see. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I gave you a kind of brief overview about our Dooars tour, and about a review of the Vande Bharat and Vistadome coach also. So right now I'm returning, as I already mentioned once in this video, and it was a kind of a nice refreshing tour for 5 days. But again, yeah, I'll be back to work, back to college, and back to all this stuff again. Still, it was fine. Maybe it was required, this short break or whatever you call it. Maybe this was required. And do keep an eye on my YouTube channel, because after I finish posting all of my Dooars videos, I'll be posting some other interesting physics videos as well. I mean, some educational videos like I usually do also. You know. So I think yeah, and so and have you visited to see this trip was kind of just me with my parents, and it was kind of suddenly planned, and it was planned all of a sudden, and I myself took care of all the consulted my most trusted travel agent, and that is Google itself, and I consulted Google, and I made all the plans, you know, like all the like which places to visit and which not. And so it was not done through any travel agency, it was just a planned personally planned trip. But yeah, in the end it turned out to be pretty good trip, because we could view a lot of animals which we couldn't view the bison, true, but we could view almost everything else which 99% tourists do. And then we could visit all the places which were in our plan. So it was a nice trip overall. And then this Vistadome experience and all these trains is also fine. So I think anyway, that's all for this video, guys. And so thank you very much. And see the train. And it feels really strange, because this total Vistadome coach, it's totally empty right now, except for the three of us. It's totally empty. Yeah, so I think that's all for this video, guys. And yeah, it feels really strange because the Vistadome coach, it's not, as you can see, it's totally empty except for the three of us. And it feels really great.